Power flashes and flying debris in Cabo San Lucas last night as Hurricane Newton roared ashore. These incredible images were captured by our storm chaser, Josh Morgerman.
What's it like to be in the eye of a 90-mile-per-hour hurricane in a foreign country? If you want to know, then we've got the man with the answers. Josh Morgerman joining us live right now from Cabo San Lucas. Josh, tell us about last night. What was that like when that thing came roaring ashore?
Well, it came in with a real kick. I was not sure what to expect exactly, but as the core of the hurricane moved over to the city, the city just got raked. And the thing, I was high up, and I could just see the transformer explosions all across the city. It was kind of like 4th of July. And then the most incredible thing was when the eye passed over, because we went from this sort of shell-shocking roar to just complete quiet. And it's always an incredible experience, but this one was especially cool.
And you take your instruments to measure as the storm goes over. What were some of the stats that you got? Wind speeds, pressure?
The main thing I was measuring was pressure, and I had a couple different devices. Seems like we bottomed out around 984 millibars. The interesting thing was that we stayed at that level for a couple of hours. The eye lasted really long, which I thought was really interesting, and we just kind of hovered around that value. I'm still going over the data, but preliminary is 984 millibars. That suggests we were, although we were in the eye, we weren't quite at the exact center of it, where the pressure might have been a little lower.
Josh, as far as Cabo goes, you've been there many times before to cover hurricanes. How did the city fare with this one?
Well, much better than last time. Hurricane Odile from 2 years ago is now the sort of like golden benchmark of hurricanes for this region. Odile was the worst hurricane in the history of the city. Shocked everyone, was just devastating. And this, of course, could not compare to that. But I would say if you take Odile out of the picture, Newton was a significant impact for this city. What's strange about Cabo San Lucas is it's in the tropics, but if you look at its history, it hasn't had a lot of direct impacts. It always seems to get lucky. So it's kind of incredible that twice in 2 years, hurricane eyes have passed right over this city.
Yeah, when we talked to you yesterday, you had mentioned that when you were there, the hotel you were in actually had the windows blown out with Odile. You said that you noticed this time people were boarding things up. What else did you notice, whether it be in the sense of communication or preparedness, differently because of what they dealt with Odile?
Yeah, a really bad hurricane is very educational experience. And besides the boarding up, which people really boarded up, the other thing was people gassed up their cars. There were long lines for gas, sort of like in the U.S. And also stores were just swept clean of the shelves were swept clean of water and stuff like that. People in Cabo, I felt like before Odile, were just kind of mellow about hurricanes. Like to them, a hurricane just meant, okay, like not a beach day. And I think now it means something different, and they really treated it with appropriate respect, I thought. And I think they were very well prepared this time.
Hey, lessons learned. That helps, right? Josh, tell us, let's go back to the eye. That eye basically passing right over you. What was it like at that moment? How long do you think you were in the eye?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm still going over my video and stuff and trying to figure that out. It seemed like the worst of the front eye wall was 2:15 to 2:45. That's when we just got raked by hurricane conditions. And then around 2:45 we calmed, and then 2 hours of solid calm, and then I would say maybe it picked up a little. But it's possible the eye lasted as long as 3 hours, definitely more than 2. We were in it for a while, and it was a very cool eye. I walked down to the waterfront, and what's cool is in the eye, even though the wind is calm, the ocean was crazy, just boiling and angry. But you juxtapose that. Sorry about the sound. When you contrast the sort of calmness of the wind with the anger of the sea, it's really very interesting.
And one more thing before we let you go, have you heard any reports of significant damage, or have you seen anything in your way around the city?
Doesn't look too bad. I'm very happy to say, just walking around the city, there's some broken windows, down signs, trees thrashed, stuff like that. Along the ocean front, there's some storm surge damage, like decks and piers torn up and stuff like that. But I haven't seen anything too bad, and I'm very happy to say that. It seems like they got through okay with this one.
Hey, Josh, great update. And if there is a hurricane somewhere in international waters, Josh is there. He is the best in the world at chasing these things. Josh, thank you so much for the update. Cabo seems like it did okay. Huh?
I think so.